We're going to talk about the power of the pause. It sounds simple, but how many of you have been in a situation where you are suddenly so triggered that you immediately move into reaction as opposed to response? In order to get to that place of response, it really is that mindful awareness of what's happening in the moment. What am I feeling? Where am I feeling it? But the power of the pause is to pause into the breath. The deep inhalation in through the nose, out through the mouth, letting that exhale being just a little bit longer, and then repeating it at least 3 times. But I say 10 times. 10 breaths is 1 minute. The power of the pause activates our parasympathetic nervous system, so the brakes of our nervous system. Sympathetic is the gas, parasympathetic is the brakes, but also triggers our vagus nerve. So it's sending signals. We're signaling to our body the pause. We're allowing ourselves to slow down. We're actually mindfully taking charge of the moment so that we don't react and we can respond. Let me be very clear. Difficult emotions are difficult. They're signals. Anger is a signal. Fear is a signal. Jealousy, frustration, resentment, those are all just signals of unmet needs. What I'm talking about is when you're in the midst of a situation and you're getting triggered and you're getting ready to say or do something because the amygdala, the part of our brain that we call the security guard, is going into fight, flight, and fright. So fight is words, fists, or feet. That the pause then empowers you to take that deep breath over and over and over until you literally put on the brakes, let the energy settle, and then you can get into the prefrontal cortex, this rational part of our brain, and then you can either ask questions, make a request, or just go, I just need some space. Now, I'm not talking about situations where you're actually in danger, if you're driving, you got to slam on the brakes or anything like that. I'm talking about these day-to-day conversations and reactions that people have that cause a lot of harm to ourselves and to others. It's all about freedom in July, and I believe freedom, real freedom, is mindful awareness, paying attention to what I'm feeling. And real freedom is practicing the pause, anchoring in my body and my breath so I know what this feels like. I know what calm feels like. And so I always put my left hand on my heart, right hand on my belly. Men can do the opposite, but I, as a female, like to do this. And we're breathing in through the nose and then slowly out through the mouth, and extend that exhale. 3 breaths anchors us. The anchor brings me fully to the present. 10 breaths starts to slow me down. It may take 20, 30, 40 or more breaths. So the pause, the power of the pause. So we're going to do 3 breaths together. But here's your invitation. Pause daily. Sit in mindful awareness. Notice your breath. Notice how you're feeling. Notice what you're feeling and where you're feeling it. I always teach my students that if I'm feeling stress and tension, because I'm noticing my shoulders are suddenly doing this, that's like my sign to breathe and calm. And that takes time. But especially when I'm interacting with someone, I don't need something that's happening within me to then, blurt out. And just like on Ghostbusters when he gets slimed, I don't want to slime people with my stress and my mess. I'm just having a difficult moment. And that's all that the power of the pause is to acknowledge what I'm feeling, to honor it, to be in it, to be okay with it, but then not to react from it. And then we move into more difficult emotions such as guilt and shame. So it's easy, simple, yet it takes practice. It takes practice. So let's do this. Left hand on heart, right on belly, or you do the opposite. And just listen to the sound of the bell and follow your breath. Breathing in through the nose. And breathing out. We're keeping our eyes open for this. Just because imagine you're driving and you need to breathe. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And if you're in a situation that you have to continue with the deep breaths until you feel the energy settle, then focus your attention on your body and your breath. If you're driving, feel your hands on the steering wheel. Notice the car in front of you, the color. What can I hear? Is there anything I can smell? But we go to our senses to bring us present. But if you're not driving and you're able to connect in your body, if not just hands on lap, or you can grasp your hands together, but just something to connect in your body, it brings you to the present moment. Drinking a glass of water, anything to bring you right into the moment, and then pause. But the daily practice, just 10 breaths is 1 minute. Literally. 10 breaths is 1 minute. And if you can notice how you feel and bring your attention back to feeling the air, the texture of the air. Is it hot? Is it cold? What does it feel like? Is my nose itchy? And when you breathe in, then slowly breathing out and just exhaling just a little bit longer, notice the difference. We practice so that we know the feeling, and when our amygdala, the part of our brain that gets triggered, we can immediately bypass that reaction and go into the pause, the power of the pause. So let's do 10 deep breaths together. Now here, you're sitting down. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, once again, you're signaling to your brain that you're taking a break. Our eyes also take about 80% information. So you're literally giving your brain a break. And just follow my voice. I'm going to count to 5. And then I'm going to keep breathing and counting in my mind, and I will ring the bell when it's the 10th breath. All right? So put your hands on your lap. Notice how you feel. Sitting up, not too stiff, but not too relaxed. And just follow your breath. Breathing in through the nose. And breathing out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now on your own, just follow your breath and notice how you feel. And don't open your eyes until I ring the sound of the bell. Slowly open your eyes. Bring yourself present. Notice how you feel. The power of the pause. What would your day feel like if you paused at the top of the hour or the bottom of the hour for 1 minute, 10 breaths? Or you're at a meeting. No one's going to know that you're doing it. Just focus on deep breathing. Or before you get into your car or have to make a decision, 10 breaths. Before you have to have a difficult conversation, 10 breaths. And if you can't get 10 in, at least 3 to anchor you into the present moment. To let your mind, guide your brain into that, I'm safe right now. So practice a pause, the power of the pause. True freedom lies in present moment awareness, understanding my feelings and emotions, understanding what human needs are not being met. And in these months, I'm going to go into some spiritual principles, how to understand freedom as a spiritual principle, divine right action, divine order. But today's about mindfulness and the power of the pause and freedom in the pause. So I invite you into a daily practice, 10 breaths in the morning, 10 breaths at lunch, 10 breaths at night. Start with that. And then practice at the top of the hour or at the bottom of the hour, just 10 breaths, whatever works for you. The power of the pause, freedom, let me know how that makes you feel. So throughout this time, I will be posting different videos. We'll have both spiritual videos, like spiritual practices and understanding, and mindfulness videos. So today is about mindfulness, the power of the pause, freedom, and just notice how you feel. Have a great day.